Hello, welcome back. In the previous video, we have seen how to create the grains. So now in this video, we will see how to activate the grains. So now we will go back. So first of all, we will remove this transform. So now what the thing is, we need to specify the point from where you want to activate the grains. So after this clean, we will add a node called like distance along geometry. So we need to select this. So by using this, we can specify one point and we can able to start the simulation from that specific point here. So if I enable this, and now if you select this and if I press P, so you can able to open the parameters. And here you can see there is an option like start point. So we need to select this and we need to specify one point where you want to start the animation. Let's say if I want to start from this, and just you have to press enter. So now it has been noted here. And also in the distance along geometry, you can see there is an option like output attribute named as dist. So by using this, we can able to create the gradient. So in order to do that, for next we will add a node called attribute warp. So select this, connect here, and just like enable this and go inside. And first we'll take a bind node. So like we will select this bind, and in the bind node, if you go to the parameters, here I have to give the name like dist. So as I explained, like if I go to this distance along geometry, the output attribute is this. So we need to specify the same name. I have named it as like dist. So now we will take another node like fit range. So select this. So I will connect this dist to this volume and this to like color here. So like we are now, if you connect this, you can able to see this color. So if I select this fit range and if I go to the parameters, you can see there is a source max. So we can able to give the animation for this. So according to that, it will activate the grains from the specific point here. So now we will give the animation for this bind node. So in order to do that, just we will take an AND node, connect in between this. And here we will create a parameter node and just will connect this to the input. And here we will give the name parameter to offset. So what the thing is, see, whenever we go back and if you select this attribute web, it has been created one attribute called like offset. So by using this, we can able to give the animation here. And now if you change this value, so if I go to this negative, so now you can able to see this effect. So if I go to this attribute walk, here we will take a node called like ramp parameter. So select this. So just I will connect here. So after creating the ramp here, the ramp type, I will select it to like spline ramp. So now if I go back and if I select this attribute, so see now it has been added the ramp here. So if I select this and if I give the value to like 1, now see here we got this color. So now we got this reverse effect. So if I increase, now see it is going to be like black and laterally it will going to be white here. So we will give the animation for this thing. So change the value when it converts to total complete black. So let's up to here. So it will be 1. So now we have to give the animation. So make sure you have to be in the first frame and just alt left click to add the key. So let's say we'll give up to like 90 frames and here just we will convert it to complete white. So just I will give the negative value. Okay, that's fine. And now again, alt left click to add the keyframe. And next we will create the bind export. So if we go to the attribute verb and here we will create a node called like bind export. So select this and we need to connect it after ramp. So let's say we'll give the name. So we'll give the name to like active. And now we will go back and go to the grain source node. So still the attributes has been not imported to this grain source. So what the thing is, we need to transfer this attribute to this grain source here. So in order to do that, we need to take a node called attribute transfer. So select this. So we need to connect it from grain source. And also we need to give the input from this attribute warp here. So after connecting this in the attribute transfer here, uncheck this primitives and select this like active. So whenever we go back, still it is not working. So, but still you can check through the visualizer if it is working or not. What the thing is, we need to select this attribute transfer and go to this eye icon. And here you can see there is an option like active. So select this. Now you can able to see the gradient. So whenever we click on this play, you can able to see that it is working. But what the thing is, it has to affect onto these grains also. So just for timing, I will disable this. So select this and just disable. So first we'll connect this attribute transfer to this attribute walk. And now we will go inside this popnet and just will go to the first frame. And now if you click on display, still see it has been not applied. So in order to import this attribute transfer to this pop network. So in the pop network, we need to go to this source node. After this, we need to add a node called like pop wrangler. So select this and connect here. So in the pop wrangler, if I go to the bindings, sorry, inputs, and if I select this, we have to select this first context geometry. As now what the thing is, the total attribute transfer has been connected to this like first context, like the first input here. So here we need to select this first context geometry. And next after this, we will come to this code and we'll give the expression. So just we'll give the expression like f@mass equals to 0.0 comma active, that we can give in the double quotes. And comma pt num, and just close this. And we need to give the edge rate for this and semicolon. So just execute this. And now we will see this. If you click on this play, I think here I have to give the equals to. So just equals to, execute this. And also before testing, I have made some changes. So if I go to this pop solver and if you go to this sub steps, here defaultly it was like 10 by 10, just I have decreased to 1 by 1. And also like in the pop grains here, the constraint iterations default level put it to like 5, so that we will get the faster animation. And now we will see this. And now you can able to see the animation has been started from this selected point. Whenever, see again, I will click on this play. So see now it is going to start from this point here. So now it is working. So now just will go to the default value. So if I in the pop grains, here I will give the value to like 20, and in the pop solver, so just I will give the substeps to like 10 by 10. And also in the pop color, just remove this thing. And also just will give the color to this. So ramp color. So now we got this color. And here we'll select the sand preset. So if I go to this thing, and here we can see there is an like sand preset. And if you want more grains, you can go to the pop grains and just we can decrease it to like 0.02. So now we can increase the number of particles and see now the size of the particles has been decreased. So now what the thing is, all the particles are aligned in the straight line. So we want the random spread over this particle here. So what the thing is, just we will go back and in the grain source, here we will enable this like jitter scale. So now we got this random spread over these particles. See now it is not in the straight lines. And also if you want to create the random scale, you can disable this option like uniform radius. So now we got this random scale for these particles. So now we will see this. So just I will enable this popnet. And now we will simulate this. So click on this play. So now we got this nice animation. So in this way we can activate the grains. So that's it for this tutorial. See you in the next video.